What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's been a little bit of a little break since we stepped off the FM, trying to get back on, and really today's just going to serve as a test, as a branding test, as a is this going to work? Are we meeting? Are we on all the social medias we think we are? If you look to that side of me, so that side of me, that's just going to be where our guest would sit, or where different people that we're going to try to get to join in it will sit during the broadcast. But really, uh, kind of want to know. We've got some ideas of how to bring the brand back, about how to, maybe look at different things that we can do, but really want to know: are we live? That's number one. Do we have, what we think we have in? Are we on all our social media? So we're supposed to be on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Trying to see if we are on those social medias. I'm not necessarily seeing myself on the grind. Hey, I am. Look at that. It's weird seeing yourself on your phone. That's kind of different. It actually looks pretty clear. So that's really good. I'm trying to make sure we're on all the different dynamics, but really kind of wanted this to serve as like a platform for people to tell us what do they want to see. I think my idea is that we could have, little 15 to 20-minute segments, one about high school football, one about Tennessee or college athletics, and then one that kind of speaks to professional. I'll need some help in that area, but I think it's a way to possibly be out there without being out there. You know what I'm saying? We're not necessarily in a designated time slot. I think it gives us a little bit of freedom. I've been talking to different people as to what we could put on there as far as content. I got a lot of really good help, a lot of really good ideas from some of my the former um, my co-host and such. So I think there's a good variety of interest in what could be on here, but really kind of wanted to pick brains and see what people think. A lot of new stuff. Really, the background portion here. Been building that. Obviously, if you know me, I've been kind of heavily invested in rebuilding Rebel Radio for Maryville High School, and the broadcast that is. Luckily, been able to jump on board 95.7 Duke FM. Been able to get that portion under wraps and kind of off and rolling. So it's time to get the grind back moving, and this is kind of the piece that we've decided to jump on first. So yeah. So looks like we're on Facebook. I'm trying to figure out if we actually are live on Twitter. Of course, Twitter being what Twitter is. It doesn't look like I'm seeing anything live, but that doesn't mean it's not. That just means that I don't get to see it. I've got filters that I don't know. Hey, look, there it is. Yeah, so we're live on Twitter. Man, if I'm going to check YouTube, if it's 3 for 3, I may just need to quit now. I don't know that it's going to be live, but it may be on some delay. But if you're listening and you're like, I don't know who this guy is, and I don't know if I even want to know, then you may not. But I'll say this: if you give us a chance, if you like sports and you don't want to get overly critical or overly pushy about it, I think you'll like us. But if you don't, if you're a little more, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think we have a good play on it. I think we don't get too up, too down, but I think we do try to be real with what we're doing. So yeah, we're live on YouTube as well. Huh. Anyway, looks like we're up on all three social medias, so that's the plan, and looks like that's going to work. Kind of want to throw some of these banners back up here. Um, Guys, it's battle week in Blount County, and what that means, and what I'm trying to talk about there is you've got the battle for Pistol Creek. That's the Alcoa Maryville rivalry. Of course, that's where most of my focus will be this week. Just talking about Maryville and Alcoa, the reigning 3A state champs and the 20 plus year semifinalist, 17-time state champ Maryville Red Rebels battle in what I like to say is arguably the best rivalry in East Tennessee, in the state of Tennessee, and maybe in high school football. But you'd be hard pressed to prove me otherwise. So I think this is the best game coming and going, and I'll kind of challenge or talk with anybody that wants to compete with that. But I think being the radio voice of Maryville. I kind of leave my opinions to myself. I hope it's a really good game. I hope people are very much on their A game. I hope both teams bring what they want to have brought to Friday night's matchup, and then when the chips kind of get pushed in, I hope the result is what it should be. I hope that the Rebels prevail. I don't know that that's a shock to anyone, but I do think Alcoa brings a brand of football that's good enough to win. And I think it'll be really up to the coaching staffs and up to the players to determine kind of what you got. And I think Coach Nix being in year one, I like the intensity that he's always had. That's always been something from afar that I've really respected. But I think here being the head guy, it's a different dynamic. Yes, he's been DC for a very long time. But being the head guy in this rivalry has to have its challenges, has to probably have its benefits, but probably has to have its challenges. And so we'll see how Coach Nix responds there. And then I think Coach Hunt, it's been for a lot of years, it's been, or at least the entire time he's been there at Maryville, it's been Derek Hunt versus Gary Rankins. It's been Derek Hunt, the younger coach, versus Gary Rankins, the winningest coach in Tennessee high school history. And really, in the course of one season, that script flipped. And what I mean by that is Derek Hunt went from being the youngest coach and maybe the least tenured coach to flipping that really quickly. And now he's the most senior coach in Blount County. Still probably the youngest, but very much the senior in the chair kind of thing. And so I think that has its impact. I would like to think it's very limited. Love the way Coach Hunt prepares game by game, no matter if he's playing, if he's scrimmaging a little league team or if he's playing, I don't know, name your big team right now. Is it the Cincinnati Bengals? Anyway, he prepares the same way. He gets his guys ready. And I love his mantra. Sometimes you just hope that you, at the end of 48 minutes, have given it your best. If that's good enough to win, then it is. If it's not, you got to be okay with that. And I like that that approach, because it's not if you don't win every single game, you're a failure. And I think in some ways, especially in high school and college athletics, and I'm probably not the best to speak to this, but people hang on each and every game to define a season or to define a program or to define a coaching staff. And I try not to buy that narrative. I think anybody who thinks I'm talking about Tennessee football would say, Wayne, you need to look in the mirror, and maybe that's true. But at the high school level, I will defer. I will say that is not what I believe or what I think. The other matchup in town. So that's kind of a snapshot, and maybe later in the week we'll jump into some other people. And I don't want to chew this completely up, as we may have the opportunity to have some people on later this week. That's another thing I'm trying to understand is what's the heartbeat? Do I need to split it up? Would it be good to keep, one big podcast. I think all that's to be discussed, to be determined. But I'm just happy that it's on all three social medias. I think I may be able to retire on a Tuesday night and be happy about this. But I do wish the best for both teams. Maybe a 51-49 in favor of the Rebels as far as percentages, not points. We don't need. I think both defenses are not going to allow that level of points, but I do think there's great cause for this being a big matchup. I think it should be the Titans game of the week. If you haven't had a chance, go vote for that. It's funny. There's some good games on there, but there's only one great game in my opinion. So just kind of know that. Look at that. But also there's another game going on in Blount County. It's called the Battle for the Belt. William Blount versus Heritage. Heritage coming off a victory, the first victory in the Joe Ossovet era. Say that 3 times fast. Getting a win over Cott County, and Cott County really in shambles post that victory. A lot of injuries out of that. There's a gentleman on their football team, a 4-year guy, senior, that's going to have to step away from the game because in that game got his 5th concussion. But wish the best for him. Sometimes the game catches up to you quicker than you'd like. But again, he has to look out for his health. So, but Heritage does have a victory on their schedule. William Blount does not. So. Does the bell head back to Jack Renfro, or does it hang out in the purple and blue, or in the orange and blue? Purple and blue. Who even wears that? But I don't know. I don't know. We don't get to play William Blount anymore. That being Maryville, so I haven't seen them in the flesh. I do know they have a new quarterback because their quarterback from a year ago now has red and black on Friday nights. But I do think that William Blount has some players. They do have some skill. It's just a matter of how it manifests on Friday night with those two programs kind of locking up. So I think that one's anybody's game to have. I think if you look at it, sheer motivation, sheer excitement, I've got to give the nod to the Mounties. I think Heritage is very much enthused about what Joe Ossovet, or Coach O as they're calling him, what he's able to kind of turn out every Friday night. I think there is an expectation at Heritage right now, and you know what, he's kind of continuing to grind and looks like he's developing week in and week out to finally get that big get the win. And I think that first one is always going to be very difficult. So like what he's done there, but I'm going to go with Heritage in that one. And again, just for the sheer fact that not any knock on Coach Reeves, or because both of these coaches are in their first year, but it's just one of those. I think the emotional bet, the emotional side of any kind of selection or pick just tells me that Heritage really has something. They've got something they're fighting for, and so I think that's got to mean something. And I like what that looks like, but. I know it had been a long time since really anybody outside of my circle had really heard me loosely talk about sports. That may be a good thing if you didn't enjoy the grind before, but if you did, then hopefully we're right on the brink of getting this thing back going. But you know what? I'm excited that possibly we have a platform here that allows us to get on, talk a little sports. Be able to grind a little bit, if you will, and just from a fan's perspective, kind of unfold some things. I'm here at the friendly confines of what most of my friends know as the Tennessee Room, but it's in my house, and I hope there's some future podcasts to be had talking about what the Vols are doing. Hopefully, not what they're not doing, and hopefully able to break down. Some good things moving forward. Big win this past Thursday night against Ball State. Did some things that I was hoping just to be a standard practice, and they were. And I'm kind of happy with that. But I think I'm always, especially early on, very much a wait and see guy in the fact that how good, how much did this defense grow? I think that's the big question mark on any fan base. or any Tennessee fan, especially in this look. But I think if you like what they're doing, what they're putting out, then you've got to like the offense, and you got to like what they're doing. But I think what's going to tell the tale is can this defense stop anybody? I think kind of face value being at the game Thursday night, I thought there was a little question mark around pass rush or around people getting to the backfield, and really just give kudos to Tim Irwin and those great sports shows over the weekend. He really told me to kind of go back and look at the film, did that, and Ball State really, they just had a one-read progression. The first guy was open, so really maybe it's not pass rush. Maybe it's defensive backs not covering the flat. Maybe it's a little bit of people giving too much cushion and allowing routes to develop. So I think there's some question marks, no doubt about it, on the defensive end. We'll have those until we don't, and I mean that by we'll have those until we play a big-time team. Pittsburgh being this Saturday, it's a bigger team, but I think conference play is what's going to detail, are we there yet? Not to coin my kids for the most part anytime we're in the car. But I'll say this. This is just a snippet of what hopes to come in the future. Again, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, all live at this point. So if you see us, put the notifications on to let you know when we come on. My hope is to do a minimum of one podcast per week, hopefully more than that, with a focus on high school sports, college sports, and then as we crank the NFL up here this weekend, a focus on pro sports. But, hopefully I'll have somebody to that side of me talking a little bit on the flip side. But right now it's just about getting the brand back open. It's about talking a little bit, and it's about testing the tech because, as we all know, if the tech don't work, it don't work. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little splash, kind of what we are, what we ain't. And like I said, go to Facebook, like us, The Grind on Sports, Twitter, The Grind on Sports, and YouTube, The Grind on Sports. All of those are subscribable, likable, notification settable. So do all that. And then when we go live, you can watch. And then if you don't catch the whole thing, you can go back and watch. That's the good thing about what we're doing here. But this is going to be kind of our platform moving forward. I'm sorry it's been so long since we've been here, but hopefully it won't be near as long until we get back. So long, and as we did on the show, might as well just keep it going. If you're on your way to work or on your way home, take care, be safe, and yes, grind on.